What is going on, my friends? Okay, so I did yesterday the video about my rankings of all goats worst to best. It was a tier list, and as usual when you do tier lists, a lot of people, some people agree with you, some people disagree with you, a lot of people comment under the video because they have something to say about the character, and that's perfectly fine. I believe it is completely impossible to do correct tier lists, in the sense that I don't think that there is a single person on earth that have super in-depth knowledge of every single character in the game. We have more than 200, I don't know how many characters do we have actually, but they should be around 200, probably more. So I don't know how many people have in-depth knowledge of all of them. So usually what people do is we have, let's say, a pool of 30 characters, 50 characters that we usually do. We have a pool of another 50 characters that we sometimes use, and we have characters that we barely use because we already tested them and for some reason we don't like using them. With that said, yesterday I received certain comments about specific characters, and before I start with the video itself and talking about why I believe those characters are not really higher on the ranking, I just want to say that that's my opinion. I'm not trying to shove it down my throat. I usually receive comments, people asking, can I do tier list? And I do tier list because people love to see it. I'd like to basically tell you my opinion about characters. This doesn't mean that my opinion should be 100% correct. Sometimes I'm right about certain characters, sometimes I'm wrong about certain characters, so don't take my opinion as an objective truth, always check for yourself. Now, when it comes to the characters that you guys asked in the comment section and the characters that you often disagree with me, now the first character is Classic Sonya, and I have received multiple comments, not only in that video, but in previous videos that I made about all best goats and stuff like this. A lot of people really think high of Classic Sonya, consider her to be an S tier goat. Well, when it comes to Classic Sonya case, I explained it in the video why I don't believe she is an S. One of the biggest problems with her is that she cannot snare, and you always have to make sure that you run to the guy and try to land the next combo in there, because if you don't do that on time, he's going to tag out, and that's my main problem with her. Another problem I have with her is that she doesn't have any type of power drain. She doesn't have creep also, in a lot of times, especially when you're doing more difficult battles, they're gaining power, so it's getting more, let's say, risky and risky the more power they have. You're going to say it's a skill issue, I don't have issue with that. Fine, probably it's a skill issue, but the point is it feels much safer and easier and even faster not to use Classic Sonya but to use other gold characters such as Classic Scorpion, or Lizard Baraka, or Combat Cup Johnny, or even Hanzo Kasashi. So I think that she's a great character. Once again, I never said she's bad. She is good character. I believe I rank her as an A or A+, I don't remember. But the thing is, I think high of her. I just don't believe she belongs to the absolute, let's say, Mount Rushmore of gold characters. If you disagree with me, that's fine, but it's just, once again, that's my opinion on Classic Sonya. The other guy is Classic Kano, and that's really interesting because I changed my opinion of Classic Kano because of the Shaolin Monk. He actually showed me that I was wrong about Classic Kano. I believe before I saw the videos of the Shaolin Monk about Classic Kano, I was ranking him even worse, like a B or something. I don't really remember. But the point is, guys, Classic Kano is an incredible character, but the reason why he's not an S is simple. He has low stats, low damage, and the thing is, it is true that he helps in very difficult fights, but so is Combat Cup Sonya, and they are both A+, for the same reason, because I wouldn't use them anywhere else. If I want to do fast faction war runs, I wouldn't use them unless they give bonus and there is no other option. If I want to do fast scripts, I wouldn't use them against if I don't have any other option. And generally, if I want to do tower fights and want to do them fast, I wouldn't consider them. I would use them only in those situations where they are really helpful against MK11 Jane. You can say that those are the hardest fights. Alright, I agree with that, and this is the reason why I have them so high. But the point is, Combat Cup Johnny can do those fights as well. Granted, he can do them a little bit harder, let's go it that way, but at the end of the day, he can do those fights, and he can do every other fight faster than Sonya and Kano, and on top of everything, he's a better boss killer, much better boss killer. So, you see, in majority of cases, characters that are S should be really great everywhere, with certain exceptions. But I don't think that classic Kano is that great in in many situations, apart from those niche fights that you must win using him, because he's really good stun looper. And more or less that's it. Not to mention that if the enemy is immune to stun, you are cooked. He cannot do anything. He cannot really use his special to that great. The moment they resist a stun, you're a goner. So if the enemy MK11J has resistance to stun, let's say 30 or 40 or even 50% resistance to stun, you cannot even use classic Kano, because one combo of Jade and he's dead, because he has 1 HP and he deals 2 damage. So, yeah. What is the other character that people were disagreeing? Classic Jade. Now, I tested Classic Jade multiple times. I don't believe she's an S. I don't believe she's as good as Combat Cup Johnny, as Classic Scorpion, Lisa Baraka. She's a good character, I believe. Again, I rank her as an A. But she doesn't really... I don't think she excels in anything in particular. A good character, decent character, nice damage and stuff, but I don't consider her as an S. Still, I never said that she's trash, I never said that she's bad. She's a good character, but not in my Mount Rushmore. There is not a specific argument here why, apart from the argument that she doesn't excel anywhere. I don't believe she's one of the very best boss killers, I don't believe she's incredible at Fusion Zero, I don't believe she's one of the fastest killers ever in Faction War Survival Mode, I don't believe she's that useful in difficult fights in towers, I don't believe her general clearance speed is that great, her passive is so yeah, this is the best way I can describe it. A good character, but she doesn't excel anywhere. And finally, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. And I'm saying the elephant in the room because I received multiple comments. The most comments by far about Flaming Fist Lucane. People are saying that he was an S or let's say an A. And I was like, I'm sorry, he isn't for me. But I'm going to address it once again because I really received a lot of comments. Ever since my back and forth videos with the Shaolin Monk against the Baraka versus Flaming Fist Lucane thing, I said to myself, you know what, probably I'm wrong, let's test this guy. I really want to test him and see whether he's that great, whether he's indeed a very good gold or even a top 10 gold. In his videos, Shaolin Monk said that the Flaming Fist Lucane is incredible against bosses, but the thing is, I tested him as well, and he isn't even remotely good against bosses without strong equipment. And now you're going to say, did you see that he one-shot at Fatal 200? I forget the tower using, I believe White Lotus Tower it was, using 3 maxed out epics. Yep, I saw it, it was great, but, once again, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I don't care in the slightest about how character performs with maxed out epic. Especially when it comes to goats, because let's be real guys, if you have an account that has 3 maxed out epics, that means probably you have more than 3, but if you can afford to get 3 maxed out epics on a gold character, you would never use that gold character against bosses, ever, because there will be always a better alternative in a diamonds tier. For instance, if they have resistance to the buffs, you can use Team Soak and stuff like this. So, the point is, it doesn't matter which goat is better on a maxed out gear epics, because by the time you have them, you'll never use the goat unless you want to have fun, or unless, let's say, you want to test something. Generally speaking, diamonds will be always better if you want to beat Fatal 200 faster. For some reason, because once again, it doesn't really matter whether you beat it in 1 attempt or 2 attempts, it doesn't give you anything. So yeah, I tested a guy, Flaming Fist Lucane, against bosses with regular equipment, so I didn't use any maxed out epics like Tanuki. I didn't use the gear that gives blockable chance, I forgot its name, I'm using it at the moment, Rocking Bowling Stones. I didn't use those things, because let's be real, Rocking Bowling Stones start being useful at least Fusion 5, Fusion 6, that's again a big investment, so I decided I'm going to use just base gear, and I'm going to see how strong Flaming Fist Lucane was. And do you know what the results were? He was horrible. Just going to let another Lucane basically tell you a story about that.
You're like an aggressive little bunny. Soft and useless.
So, I was saying that I tested Flaming Fist Lucane against bosses with regular equipment. He was super bad. He would run out of steam because he needs to spam special 2. He's a one-trick pony. You can't kill bosses by spamming special 1. And since he doesn't have enough power generation, he cannot get free bars by just spamming special 2 and triggering another maxed out epic, he wouldn't really keep up with the special 2 spam, he would corner a boss, and because he couldn't get to special 2 fast enough, he's going to get killed. This didn't happen to other S tier goats such as Baraka, Johnny, even Lizard Jade. This happened all the time with Flaming Fist Lucane. I tested him probably against 3 or 4 boss fights, and the end result was the same. He wasn't even near being one of the very best gold boss killers in the game. Now, once again, probably he is one of the best with maxed out epics, but I don't care about maxed out epics. I never did, I don't now, and I never will. If you tell me that he's best with maxed out epics, I'll say, okay, fine, but this doesn't matter to me. So, I'm telling you all of this so that you know how, what is the most important thing for me when I decide which character is the best, or which gold character is, whether some gold character is better than others. Now, and I'm not saying that thinking that a character is better because of how he performs with epic gear is bad or is wrong. I'm just saying that in my point of view, this doesn't matter. In the Shaolin Monk point of view, probably does matter. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I really like him for that, because he is the guy who once gets a lot of maxed out epic, he starts designing those incredible strategies. And I'm not like this, because once I have so many maxed out epics, I just lose interest. I was like, yeah, whatever, just going to give this character this, I'm going to wreck it anyways. But he's not. He was like, okay, let's try to get the best strategy using those epics, maxed out epics. So kudos for him for that. I'm not saying that he's wrong, just saying that my point of view is completely different. So when I say that I don't see any value in Flaming Fist Lucane, this is one of the reasons. I don't believe he's a good boss killer. He has 0 value as a special fusion 0, absolutely nothing. He cannot support. He has low stats. So yeah, one of the reasons why I don't believe he is an S. In my opinion, he's slightly above average gold character. If you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. Once again, I'm not telling you have to agree with me, not telling you must agree with me. It is just my opinion. And I decided to make this video so I can basically throw some light on why I believe those characters are not ranked higher on the list. Not because I hate them or anything, not because I have a huge skill issue with them. I mean, let's be real, Flaming Fist Lucane, there isn't a big secret there, right? But because I see the whole picture in a different way. Alright guys, so this is going to be all for you today. Once again, when it comes to tier list, there isn't a right tier list. Every single tier list is different based on the player and how he perceives the game, the characters, and stuff like this. So, if you disagree with me, that's fine. But even if you agree with me, always try to figure out what is the best way for you to play the game. So, in a way, test all characters and decide for you which one is the best. See you next time, guys, and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.
Perfect.